Earlier this month, the Newman Catholic Center and its director, Father Dailey, welcomed some newcomers to Umass Amherst campus. A group of seminarians from Maryland traveled north to spend several days at the university. Their purpose was to evangelize and proclaim the good news to as many students as possible. Steve KILTONIC spent the day with the energetic seminarians and has this report.
From March 3rd to the 5th, a large contingent of men in black collars could be seen crisscrossing the University of Massachusetts Amherst campus. These 27 seminarians from Mount St. Mary's Seminary in Maryland spent 3 days on an evangelization mission, interacting with UMass students and proclaiming the gospel of Christ. Using the Newman Catholic Center as their home base, they focused their efforts primarily in the school's dining halls and academic buildings. This was the seminarians' first trip to UMass, but these evangelization missions have been going on for the past 9 years at various college campuses. The missions were started in 2010 by seminarian at Mount St. Mary's, Thomas Cavanaugh, seen here in a baseball cap. He felt called to evangelize and teamed up with his professor to organize a new evangelization club. The club and the mission trips became very successful, and the duo ended up writing a book on campus evangelization called How to Win Friends for Christ, One Conversation at a Time. Father Dailey said the seminarians' visit to UMass was really by default.
This group of seminarians was supposed to go to another campus, and the campus pulled out. And so Jim, who was coordinating this whole event, got a hold of one of our focus missionaries and put him in touch with me.
Jim is Jim Bors, the seminarian who orchestrated the logistics of the trip with the Newman Center staff and focus missionaries.
He told me about the program, and I said, hey, listen, if it's going to be more boots on the ground to evangelize students here at the University of Massachusetts, then how can I say no to that?
The seminary conducts mission trips twice a year, mainly to non-Catholic colleges. This is their 18th overall trip. They were at the University of Pittsburgh last fall.
Most of them are in the Middle Atlantic region, but we've gone as far south as the University of Florida, and we've gone out to the Midwest. This time up here at Amherst, we're in the farthest northeast that we've gone.
Seminarians are required to make at least one trip during their 6 years in the seminary.
Most of the seminarians that go on a trip get so much out of it, and it's so rewarding that they often come back. Some seminarians are on almost every trip that's available.
On campus, the seminarians are usually paired together or with a member of the Newman Center ministry team or focus missionary.
Our mission is really to fulfill the Great Commission that Jesus gave his disciples, to go and teach the nations everything that he has taught them.
The approach, according to Bors, is low-key but effective.
We politely and cordially ask if we can sit down and chat with them, and so we do. And the impact on the students is amazing.
Bors witnessed a number of conversions over the years.
Even when there's not a conversion per se, many seeds are planted. Many students are very happy and glad to have talked with us.
Mount St. Mary's works with the focus missionary teams and the Newman campus ministry.
We're transitioning this from an event that is supporting seminarians to, we want this to be an event where this is a Catholic campus ministry event that the seminarians support, so that when we leave, there's a lot of follow-up activity that's already in place.
Before going on any trip, the seminarians attend 4 training sessions. They learn the importance of prayer, how to share the New Testament to proclaim the Word of Christ, the importance of their own personal testimony, and are given suggested approaches to use in the sharing process. After arriving on Sunday night, a campus ministry faith sharing and pizza dinner was held at Newman. The seminarians challenged students to evangelize their classmates, teammates, or dormmates by signing a 3-in-1 pledge agreement. Each committed to share their faith with at least 3 people during Lent by asking them to Mass or a ministry event. Before heading out for the day, the seminarians attended morning Mass. After breakfast, each spent an hour in prayer during the Holy Hour and Eucharistic adoration. At 9 a.m., the seminarians left to engage students in the dorms, dining halls, lounge areas, and academic buildings. An information table was set up by the Newman Student Association in one of the dining halls. This is the second trip for Jacob Martini.
I've just always enjoyed talking to people. I'd say the first time going out there, I was kind of nervous, The more you go out, the more you just go for it. And especially this trip, I felt like a veteran. I kind of knew my stuff a little bit better.
Martini has a bachelor's in mechanical engineering and was able to easily relate to students.
I was helping someone on their stats homework and their physics homework right in front of me while having this conversation about God.
Jacob engaged with at least 30 people during the 2 days. That morning, he spoke to a fallen-away Catholic.
He promised, actually made the commitment to go to Mass tomorrow for Ash Wednesday like he used to, and to attend more of the Masses here at the Newman Center.
To know he impacted someone's spiritual life was gratifying.
For me, it's very humbling. I'd love to be the one that walks them step by step to Christ. Like, yeah, let's go. Like, let's just keep on going. But I know I like to run, and some people just need to walk.
Esteban Mayar is one of the more experienced seminarians. This is his 7th trip.
The first day of evangelizing was probably the hardest day that I ever had on any of these trips. A lot of people I felt very cold, not kind of looking down, not wanting to engage or anything like that. But the second day was a total 180. A lot of really good conversations, and it was just a huge blessing.
Mayar, who was paired with a focus missionary, employs the Socratic technique, asking students lots of questions to find out how involved they are in their faith. He met an Irish Catholic girl who was no longer practicing. After telling her that Jesus truly loves her, he pulled out a Divine Mercy card.
I asked her to look at the right hand of Jesus held up in blessing. And I said, think about all the times that somebody has raised their hand to hit you, or have been angry with you, or have just, treated you wrongly. I want you to replace that with Jesus' hand blessing you. Giant tears just started welling up in her eyes. It started falling down her face. I think to her, I think she remembered that, wow, Jesus does love me. So it was a beautiful experience.
Sean O'Connor was also on his 2nd trip. 1 hour-long discussion was with a Chinese-American student who never even heard about Christ.
When we walked up to him today, he was actually really happy that people just wanted to talk to him and share good news. Whether or not at the end of that hour they say, I'm a Christian, I believe in Christ, that's not the main issue. The issue is, will they continue to grow in their faith, because everything's a journey.
The culmination of the 2-day evangelization mission was the final evening event called Find What You're Looking For. Students active in campus ministry shared their testimonies of how their lives have been changed by Jesus Christ. The students and a seminarian led 3 breakout sessions focusing on the existence of God, who is Jesus, and why the Catholic Church. Everyone came back to the CAF to attend a festive Mardi Gras party put on by Father Dailey, where everyone got a chance to eat some great wings and relax. Father Dailey said the fruit of the seminarians' labor was already apparent even before they left.
I've already made an appointment with a student who wants to become Catholic. I already had made an appointment with a student who wants to come to confession, who's been away from the church for a while. And that's all a result of the seminarians' visit here.
The seminarians left the next day tired, but knowing their trip was a success for everyone involved. The Newman Center campus ministry, the Focus missionaries, the students, and the seminarians themselves, who answered the call to evangelize. For Real to Real, I'm Steve Kiltonic.
The seminarians' trip went so well that Father Dailey is not ruling out a return trip by Mount St. Mary to Umass at some point. He says that while their time in Amherst was short, their impact on the campus Catholic community is long-lasting.